allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have a moment of silent prayer for our country and for the council members here this evening. Amen. October 18th, moving right along, 5:30 in the evening, from the Business Center. Now the roll call, please.
Scott Murphy.
Here.
Rick Weather. Greg Forney.
Here.
Bruce Jackson. Here. Elizabeth Skinner. Here. Chris Chapman.
Here.
And Susan Webster's here. Everybody's here.
Council, good. Can we have the review of the minutes for the council meeting from October 4th, 2022? I'll take any additions and corrections and a common consent. Everything looked good to me, but everybody good? Okay, common consent. All right, good deal. All right, let's move down here. Persons before council. We have Berkeley Springs annual report from the TBS, and I will give them the floor.
Great. Thank you all. Good evening.
Good evening.
So one of our responsibilities is we have to come to the council every year and let you know that we're spending any funds that you give us responsibly and the direction in what we're doing with tourism for Travel Berkeley Springs. Tourism is one of the largest growing segments in Morgan County. This past year, we've had a booming year, which is really great because a lot of areas adjacent and near us have really suffered and had negative impacts from COVID. We've managed to take all those opportunities, work together, and turn them into positive opportunities. There's factors that have made that a success are advertising and marketing by Travel Berkeley Springs, the great experience that all of our businesses provide people when they come here. The new lodge at Kicapin State Park, which has increased the revenue and has been a blessing. The explosion of investment or second home property owners, and rectifying the travel sites so that they're paying and collecting the tax, the hotel motel tax, and it's going to the local entities. I just can't impress upon you enough how the hotel motel tax is a revenue generating tax. It is imperative that half of that continue to go to Travel Berkeley Springs and that the funds go to organizations and events that produce results and regenerate revenue for tourism, such as beautification, festivals, events, arts and culture, and any projects that we see as a community that they're self-sustaining. And they expand tourism. Laura's done some great statistics with the economic impact. I believe it's very mild that it's a $140 million industry. I'm going to talk to you about some ways where I think it's probably triple that. That $140 million number that's in the economic impact does not take into effect the loans that go through our local banks for the vacation homeowners, the property insurance revenue that goes into that, a lot of the independent contractor services to do driveways, tree removals, maintenance, trash, roofing, painting, and the realtors too. That's a huge industry in Morgan County. So tourism, I can easily say for my customers on a 2-day stay, it pumps $400 to $800 a weekend, and that's on the low end, back into the community when they come here for lodging, spa services, dining, shopping, and that's probably the lower end. We get over 400,000 day trippers every year that visit Morgan County. They pump about $200 million annually into tourism with the lodging visitors and the day trippers. So we're getting to be one of the largest industries in Morgan County, and we hope to continue with your support efforts to expand and grow. I'd like to point out in our budget for expenses for fiscal year 2021-22, of the $238,000, and these are round numbers spent, $190,000 were spent on some sort of advertising and marketing. So about 80% of our budget goes back into regenerating growth for tourism, which is how it should be. Just some other points, projects that we've done over the past year. We have gone with a professional marketing company and really tried to ramp up our brand image of Berkeley Springs. We have the beautiful Berkeley Springs logo. We're going to be asking you for some support to put flags on the meters when it's not Flag Day that say, "Welcome to Historic Berkeley Springs." And we have a flag flying on the meter. We have some banners that we're probably going to put up for the legislative visit. But welcome to Berkeley Springs. Our theme has been soak it all in to kind of grasp the spas and that sort of stuff. They're in different colors just to unify. Welcome to Berkeley Springs, West Virginia legislators. I'll pass this stuff around. One of our newer logos is we want to do positive message. The world is a place where we attract all kinds of different people here in Berkeley Springs. We've tried to come up with a logo that positively we can integrate into our marketing that tells everybody they're welcome to Berkeley Springs. It's a great way to message it. We're doing a photo shoot to change a lot of these photos because they're stock photos, but we're going to be working on rack cards and itineraries that are marketed and oriented toward the adventurer, the romantic couple, the girls' getaways. We do all of this now, but we're going to have it in a rack card so that the local businesses can easily hand out when they come into the shops and say, "What is there to do? I'm here with a group of gals this weekend." So,
You got a QR code.
yes, yep, and it's yes, yep. That's the next step.
We
Yep,
have one too.
yes, yep. So I'll pass these around so everybody can kind of look at them. Some other things that we've done are, let's see, we refined our marketing plan and brand image. That's part of the results of that. The Soak It All In logo. We've worked with the Washington Post a couple times this year. We did a spring and summer leisure travel ad. We're getting ready to do a big late fall winter in the tourism section or the travel section of the Post. They came and did some film last week that Laura organized. Channel 25 and DC, 50. Thank you. That's a lot of the day tripper market. With the gas prices so high, we've capitalized on that too. But we have little commercials that we run and key TV slots. We try to get it on the news, but those have gotten pretty expensive, so it rotates. The goodie bags, we're going to be handing out for the legislators with the logo, the Berkeley Springs logo, goodie bags, name tags with the Berkeley Springs logo for when the legislator visits. We worked hard to try to get on the best of type sites or listings. So like best shopping, best small art town, those sort of things. Trying to get more quality influencers and travel writers. That area has changed a lot to where they're paid. And we've tried to attract the people that are true to the writing and really have a already established travel segment that they use. Let's see. We have done mega advertising on Facebook and Google Ads for optimization and really tried to attract people in that 100-mile and more targeted advertising radius on social media. We've done sports advertising with the Washington Capitals and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Anything else I missed? Okay. Upcoming, we've got the legislative visit the 13th through the 16th of November. Briefly, there's going to be a tour Sunday afternoon. We're going to hit the Berkeley Springs State Park, the museum, and the courthouse. There's going to be a nightcap that evening at the Country Inn. We would love for town leadership to sign up to help us be ambassadors, to meet and greet with the legislators at any of these things. Monday from 8 a.m. to 11:30, we're going to do another tour. It's going to be Gat Creek, the state park, the museum, the ice house, Black Cat, Train Depot, and we're going to end at Cape Mountain Brewery. There's an evening nightcap that night at the Canary Grill, and we're featuring a taste of Berkeley Springs. where the legislators are hopefully going to be bringing guests and their staff. And we're going to highlight our retailers, restaurants, art walk, brewery walk, those kind of things. We have a great commercial that Jack Kelly's done for us that I'll send out to you all that promotes it. And that's from 10 to 4. Tuesday, we have a morning tour. We're going to start at US Silica. And the whole point is to show the best of Morgan County, the economic development, tourism, some of our civic groups we're going to highlight, but that we are a great community to invest in and leave a lasting impression on the legislators. There's a wellness journey that day where we're focusing on the spas and the wellness practitioners and offering many services. That evening is a special dinner at Kickaven State Park. We're hoping that we can get some of the local organizations to set up tables to greet the legislators as they're on their way to enter the banquet room for the dinner, and just welcome and share with them about Morgan County and all the great things that we do here. There's a dinner till 7, and then we have a nightcap at Cool Font, the Treetop Restaurant. So there's great opportunities for us to work together to meet with the legislator and sell Berkeley Springs in Morgan County. Some of the town questions we have. I don't know if it's in the budget. If we can get the streets clean before the legislators come, that would be terrific. If that's possible. Okay, thanks, Rick. If we can hang a banner on Town Hall that says "Welcome West Virginia Legislators," I can get with Sharon to coordinate. If that's okay. Okay. We'll be sending around an email if you want to sign up to be an ambassador for any of the events. The flags on the meters, and I'll have to get with the American Legion to make sure we don't conflict with any flag days. Train Depot, I know Susan and some committee members have done a great job revitalizing the train. It's on the tour stop. We have some great ideas for things to maybe go in the train detour if we can meet and talk.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
I was gonna suggest that we get together. We want to be out at the park for the session. Greg, can I borrow your TV again?
Yeah.
That we can run the concept clip and
Okay.
things like that, so they see where
Okay.
we're going. So
Sounds
yes,
great.
we will talk, Greg.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds great. Just again, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity for the legislator to come. If we want to get together and make a list for a rack card to leave them in the bag of things that we would like them to remember about Berkeley Springs. I know a couple things tourism is going to ask for is to have the bypass named America's First Fall Highway. We're going to try to sell them on being an advocate for insurance to pay for preventative health care. Berkeley Springs is a great place to get, reflexology, all of the services that the stresses of life can prevent from having to go on medication. And we already have that here as an industry. And then I don't know if I can talk to you about Thrasher Engineering for sponsorship for the nightcaps, if they would like to sponsor one of those or
I
contact.
don't think they'll have a problem with that.
I
Okay.
don't think they have a problem. I'll
They've done it
remind me.
Okay, I'll reach out.
I'll
Okay.
send you partners.
Okay. That's kind of what, do you guys have anything to add?
No.
Okay. Any questions or anything from council?
I like the outdoorsy type advertising. I think, that's an area that, can be developed some more around here. And I like, the hiking and the outdoor aspects. We do a lot with spas and that's great, but I do like.
We have a photo shoot scheduled for Friday and a video shoot where we're going to get the fall foliage. We're meeting with some mountain bikers up on Thunderstruck, the new trail at Kickaven State Park. That's extreme level. I was trying to get the Paw Paw Tunnel, but it's got a bunch of construction equipment. It's not the right time to film it right now.
Yeah.
But we'll get it when it removes.
Okay.
So yeah,
That's
we are
good.
looking
We
at
can Lean into that a little bit.
Yep.
These are all looking great. I really like the concept and
Yeah,
idea.
Are you doing anything on the river for that photo shoot? River and stream?
I don't have fishing. I've got 8 stops and it's hard, but I can get with you. I would love to get with you if you can help me with that, and we'll
Okay.
schedule another one. So,
Okay.
The governor just stocked the lake yesterday. I was there, and I'm telling you, I'm not exaggerating. You just.
We'll get with state tourism and get the photos from that.
Oh, my
Yeah, and we'll use that.
It's something. So that would be good.
The only other thing I have to add is, of course, bypass is going in. So I hope you guys are really doing some brainstorming on how we're gonna bring people into this town. Because I'm afraid once this thing goes in, if we don't get some major, some type of publicity out on both sides, north and south, we're gonna lose opportunities to bring people into this town. I think we'll keep our regulars that come here all the time, but I just spoke to somebody out at Food Line, last week sometime. They said he's a truck driver. He came through here. It's the first time he's been through Berkeley Springs because he moved from down somewhere in Virginia up to Pennsylvania. So now he drives a truck down through here to Virginia. He's brought his family here for the whole weekend, and I mean, we're gonna miss those opportunities.
You're right. Yeah,
You
we're
know,
trying to work with the state and
yeah.
Trumbull Court to get all the signs that say historic Berkeley Springs and direct them back.
Yeah.
So it's a concern we all have.
Real worry,
Yep.
been on my mind of lately. And the only other thing is, I mean, it's not your all's cup of tea, and I know that she worked there, but we need to figure out what we can do to get Terry's
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
something to get that thing going again or whatever, because it's, I walked past there 3 or 4 times during apple butter and I'm like, what a hole in the town. I mean,
We're
just,
still working on the owner to try to,
You know.
that's the holdup.
it's just like with the
Yeah.
Country Inn when it was down and
Yep.
Matt and them came in and man, I'm telling you what, you talk about an explosion.
Yeah.
You know, that place is packed almost every day I go in there, you can't find a parking place, and so, I mean, that's been a concern of mine.
Well, what I've talked to some people after just this last apple butter, and some of course, we haven't had it for a couple of years, so we do have some new people in town who have not experienced it. And they're kind of, they were bowled over at, the number of people that we had, which I think was a lot this year.
Mhm.
And new people that want to get involved, and we have a few new businesses too, who are just, opening their eyes and are thrilled that, we can't attract those kind of crowds. So, there are new folks out there too that I think would be helpful.
I do too. And I think getting some bands and a music festival and that sort of thing in downtown in the
Yeah.
streets, we have
That'd be
such a
nice.
great talent here.
Yeah, we got a lot of local talent.
Yep.
A lot of local
Yep.
talent.
That's kind of the next phase
So,
of it.
like I said, I mean, my thing is to try to keep all the businesses rocking and rolling.
Mhm.
And like I said, when I see a business like Terry's down or, when this business closed, now there's new owners down here on the corner. I don't know if you spoke with them yet, so
Oh, yeah,
I
they're
know.
very enthusiastic.
Yeah,
They've been
she's
in
gonna
talks
need,
about
she's
it.
gonna need some help. And I don't know if they've ever run a restaurant before, but, they, I talked with them, was down and worked on some refrigeration equipment and stuff, and they're very nice people, and hopefully they can make this end of the north end kind of rock a little bit, because it's been, we have owners in there for 2 years and then they closed and they're bye-bye, so, so that's my main concern right now is keeping all our businesses rocking, and the ones that are having problems, let's see if we can prop them up, help them if they need advertisements or whatever to help them. I mean, we've just gone up through a tough 3-4 years, with COVID and everything, and I think, it shows on these numbers how well Berkeley Springs has marketed ourselves and how well we came through the COVID. So, and I mean, I know I talked to Matt a couple times during the shutdown, and how you doing, man? Well, things aren't good, but we're really hanging in there. So, and I said, don't go anywhere, because you're one of our big anchors to stay, keep people here. So, and that, and all these other businesses. And I mean, the people that have owned them, and I mean, they went through some tough times. So, and for us to stand out the way we have, I mean, I think it's just awesome. You know, I just think it's awesome, and it really shows with the people that are working all the way around trying to keep everything flowing. So, but those are just the 2 points I had. Anybody else have anything?
We'll talk later.
Okay. If anybody's struggling, tell them to reach out and call. I'm happy to meet with them, see what we can do to elevate them
Right.
and help them.
Well, I know you might want to reach out to
Yep.
these people
We'll go
down
down
here
talk to them.
because, like I said,
Yeah,
they're
this past weekend had to be a stunner.
yeah.
Yeah, she's already called to talk to me. I've already talked to her.
Okay.
She's got my number and we'll.
I've never been in the business, number one. It's hard, but number two, to open up and
Yeah.
have that.
Right.
And I know you all work with the Bath Development Authority. If they want to do anything, Travel Rocky Springs is happy to partner and meet with you all to see what we can do. So
We'll-
happy to work with you.
Stephanie will get the streets swept that week, 7th to the 10th, before they come on the 11th.
Okay.
Great, thank you. And one of the ideas of renaming the bypass, Stephanie and the group of them came up with was to make it a highway so that people won't see the word bypass.
Amen. Amen. Because you know how many times you go on vacation, if we leave from here and go on vacation, it's business such and such and bypass such and such. We know most of the people go around that, they don't go to the
Yeah.
business
And-
because then there's
And
traffic
Trumbull's
lights.
been very helpful with talking to us about signage so that people see, restaurants, shops.
Can I ask about that? Is Trumbull sort of leading that, or are you sort of leading that signage thing? Because I think it's absolutely, I mean, I drive between here and DC a lot, for example, and all of the signs for food are McDonald's, the big chains.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, there's some money with the chains feeding those signs as opposed to local things. If you talk about food.
I think there is a-
Absolutely.
There's a major cost.
Absolutely historic Bath has to be like on every little access point. And those bright, they gotta be brown, like those brown state park signs, that's what drives people to this place. Really. I don't know how it all works, but that's why I'm asking, is Trumbull doing this or are you kind of doing it?
So the Department of Highways is
Yeah.
but they've had a lot of personnel changeovers. They're difficult to deal with.
Oh.
Trumbull is the link with that we're working with, and we're probably gonna have to reach out to Charles Troll to help us.
Right.
So
That's
and
where, that's where it usually ends up.
The thing that's what he's for. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
he's to represent us and he's done a great job. I mean, anytime that we've ever, he's jumped right on it and done his best. I mean, he's done a good bit for this community over the years.
yeah, he's been a wonderful representative.
So,
I see stuff on Facebook too, and I don't look at every cranky Facebook site, but I see people saying things like, and maybe you see it too, saying, oh, the bypass is it good or bad? Oh, it'll probably be bad. So there's lots of chatter about it, but if there is some factual information that says, if you have a good idea, do this, or we've already done this and this and this and this, so that the crankiness factor gets sort of tamped down a little with real information and real positive.
We can do positive messaging. I just believe Facebook people are gonna say what they're gonna say, and it's like it escalates when you go back and forth.
Real information
But
helps.
we're happy to put out what
Say
we're doing
whatever you
now.
want. Any accountability
Well,
whatsoever.
real information helps the people who just make
Yeah.
something.
Would it be possible for me to get a copy of your annual report on the planning commission? And if I could get a copy, that'd be a wonderful thing, so I can use it for my work.
Sharon, do you have?
Yeah,
the-
I will make sure he gets one of our extras.
Thank you.
I will make them.
Okay, anything else, council? Well, we thank you very much. Like I
Thank
said,
you all.
whatever we can do to assist you guys, let us know. And we'll try to make things happen.
Great.
That's what it's all about. We gotta work together, not against each other. So
Yeah.
I think, it's been a good relationship all the way around. So, let's just keep it moving.
Yeah.
Just keep it moving, keep it going. I mean,
Thank you all for your support.
Thank you. Thanks to all the guys at Apple Butter putting the barricades, and those guys just jump right on and get it all done.
Yeah.
It's so funny
Big
because
help for us.
45 minutes after the festival closes, you don't even know,
Yeah,
or an
yeah,
hour
yeah.
that they had a festival. They do such a great job.
It's like somebody commented on Facebook the next morning. I think it was like 6 or 5 o'clock in the morning. They were taking the sun was rising, and they were saying how they couldn't realize how this all within a couple hours, everything was back to basically where it was Friday morning before it all started. So,
And the people you hired to do the trash was fantastic.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, they cleaned
had
up
them for years.
every
Yeah.
day. They did a great job.
yeah, they actually come along. I was really surprised. They would come along picking up little pieces off the.
Oh, they
I'm-
were getting
I'm-
candy out of the
I'm
road
like,
from the parade.
I'm like, wow, that's that's pretty good. So,
So whatever you paid them, they were worth it.
yeah.
They were
Apple Butter Hall of Famer right there.
Yeah. I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
they did a good job keeping the trash cleaned and the trash cans if they were overflowing, they were changed and,
Well, I don't know if you remember, Mary Roach was the original
Yeah,
contract.
Boy, that's been
and
a
this is
long-
her daughter.
is it her daughter?
Yes.
Okay.
So she took it over from her mom. I mean, that's
Right.
family.
I remember them
Day
doing
one.
that, yeah.
Well, and I say day one, I remember when the trash people didn't show up and Judy and Beth and my husband were out there gathering up trash at midnight.
Well, like I said, we all
But
worked
yes,
together.
yeah.
It was a very successful, as far as I'm concerned, so.
Great.
So, all right.
All right, thank
Great.
you.
Thank you.
all.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Okay, Apple Butter Festival, of course, very good. Everything went good. The only thing that I would like to suggest to council is I think we need to reach out to the chamber.
Thank you.
Have a meeting with the chamber. Because there was a lot of stuff that happened during Apple Butter Festival, that, was somewhat disheartening. Friday evening, I had them parking the trailer, in a parking spot or a place where the lady pulls her car in and out of her garage. They were gonna leave it there all weekend. We got the resolved. But there was a lot of hard feelings with the vendor that they brought down here from wherever. I think we need to reach out to the chamber and say we need to have a meeting because there was horrible confusion. I got lit up more than one time, and the people in this community need to understand, this is not a Town of Bath festival. This is a chamber festival. We just support the chamber with shutting off streets, police personnel, and all that kind of stuff. So I think somewhere along the line, we need to request a meeting with the chamber. I would rather not do it just myself. I would like to talk to the chamber as a committee or
Do we
as,
have a representative of council to the, would that be?
can't
I'm
remember.
not
I'm
sure.
on the chamber, but I'm on the chamber too.
Right, I don't know if we have a representative. on the
I'm on
chamber.
the board of directors.
What?
I'm on the board of directors.
Right.
But in the beginning of council.
That was me,
Is that you? Okay.
but I can't go to meetings now because they're 3:00 in the afternoon.
Oh, my.
Okay, so there, we need to,
That's different.
that's something that we need to run in
Okay.
there.
I just looked at
To be more accessible to meetings and stuff like that,
Yeah.
so. But I really feel before it gets out of control, that we need to sit down and talk to them, because this was, probably one of the worst years that I've had to deal with problems through the festival. And it started like 7:00 in the morning and it went the whole day.
Well,
It
you
was-
just gotta realize they haven't had one for 2 years. It was all new to everybody that was present and was helping do it, so.
I understand that, but you don't come in and park people where you're gonna block somebody's driveway, and some of the comments made to me was just, well, they're just gonna have to find a place to live for the weekend. And I'm like, no, these people live here 365 days a year, we're not doing that.
Well, maybe
So
we can meet with the chamber. I'll talk
we
to
we
Sue,
really
'cause I've
need,
noticed
we
Sue
really need to sit down
and set up
because
meeting
there
on it.
needs to be a clear,
And you have to
precise-
be at the meeting.
I will be there
Okay.
unless something happens with my boy, okay? Right now, I'm having a situation there right now, so, but I will be there. I will try to be there with Ellsworth.
Okay.
So, because like I said, we need to have a meeting with them
I'm sure they'll be happy to meet with us.
to get everything hashed out. And that way, next year's festival will hopefully go off without any major catastrophe.
Said there's a lot of new people
So,
and we could
but,
They'll figure it out.
okay.
So too, we didn't have Lori Hansbrook this time.
Well,
too.
that was the big,
Major
that was the big
factor.
thing. That was the key right there.
Major factor.
Lori, made the change of that situation, but, and when I said that to somebody, they said, you know, blah, 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 she's not involved in more, in blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I understand that, but I'm just saying, you know, I understand there's new people there, but, you know, it was really a big disconnect for 12, 14 hours, so. Okay,
That was in the parking lot.
and yeah, you,
I'm
be
there
happy,
working.
be happy, because I had people stop where my wife had a booth set up, just, you know, going off.
Lights up.
Oh, they lit me up more than one time. But, you know, it's just the way that's the territory that you have. Oscar's concert that he had, I think went off pretty good. I went down for a few minutes and then I ended up having to take care of situations. So I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but I think it went off pretty good. Wasn't a lot of people there at first. I don't know if more people showed up.
Yes, the next time that we do that, just do one of the robocalls. We could have filled that whole street. If everybody, just for the town people,
Right.
you know, open the Apple Butter Festival with a block party or something like that.
Right.
But
That's a
it
good
still had
idea.
a good turnout.
That's good. Yeah, I said when I first got there wasn't a lot, but I think people showed up as it went along. So,
Right.
anyway,
More word of mouth than anything else.
right,
Yeah.
right. So,
Hey, Mr. Mayor, too, going off Rick's comment, I think, you know, if we wanted to, if we met earlier with the chamber and said, hey, by the way, we're gonna be having, you know, if Oscar wants to do it again next year on that same Friday,
right,
and say, hey, this is kind of our kickoff event, you know, more intended for locals, but you know,
Right.
anybody's invited kind of thing, maybe they would expand their schedules and everything
Right.
else, which is, of course, draws more people in.
Right.
And maybe people get here on Thursday and they stay in a hotel one more night so we can get a tax on it, whatever, you know what I mean?
absolutely.
So if we could potentially have a soft opening to the Apple Butter Festival on Friday night with Oscar's Mariachi Band, that could turn into a tradition in a hurry.
Right. Well, like I said, I mean, we're all about the arts and stuff here in this community. And like I said, there's a lot of talent. We have a lot of talent in this community. Okay, moving along, the zombie walks on the 29th of this month from 11 to 3 p.m. And of course, trick or treating the end of the month, the 31st, from 6 to 8. And we do have a letter from Chamber here given to us. They want to do the deck the meters. Again, supposedly they want to partner with us. I mean, we really, other than giving them the meters, we haven't really done anything for that. It's all been handled through. Yep, and then they give, you know, they're willing to donate money to us. So, like I said, I guess we need to address this now sooner than later. Do we want to do the meters like we did the last couple of years? I think it's a good idea.
People enjoy
I
it.
think we get a lot of people from all sorts of walks of life, all different people. I mean, I've had people come, you know, clean from Morgantown just to see some of the decorations. So,
People really enjoy it.
you know, and so I would implore council, if so be it tonight, that we, you know, give consent for this, for them to have the meters from looks like, they're asking the 22nd of November to the 4th of January.
Make that motion.
Scott, can I just mention something? With the supply chains and getting replacement parts, etc., for the meters, we might want to talk to public safety first, because when you're bagging up these meters, we run into the issue where some of the meters didn't work, or we have to remove the guts of them prior to all that, just to make sure that we can keep these meters in working order.
Chief, you got anything on it?
I really don't think you want to comment. I think a month and a half is way too long. And I'll put the bottom line out there. Talk about finances. Bring in $3,000 a month, if not more. We're getting $1,000 from chamber, so you're looking at anywhere between $2,500 to $3,000 or more revenue that you're gonna lose.
Right.
And then again, with the parts and stuff, I think you're running, you know, month and a half. I would say, if anything, the 1st of December to January 4th is plenty.
Okay.
First of all, I'd ask TBS for more money. The chamber may be giving you $1,000, but I would ask, if I were you, I'd ask TBS for money. And to think that most of the Christmas shopping is done from December to Christmas is absolutely wrong. It's done way before that.
Right.
And that's why I think it got bumped up to whatever it was,
The 22nd.
Black Friday or
Right, right.
whenever it was.
Now, yeah, I mean, that, we have an option, you know, we could go back to the chamber and say, look, you know, this is what we're losing by shutting the meters down. You know, would you be able to donate, you know, say 2,000 instead of 1,000? You know, I mean.
Well, the chamber doesn't have any money.
TBS does.
TBS is who you want to ask. Because TBS is who should be representing the business community and the shops.
Okay,
And, I mean, that's their purpose.
right,
So I would, if it were me, I'd
Go
go
back
to
to the
TBS
TBS.
and ask them for money, as well as the money that the chamber gives.
right.
So
I mean,
then you can get
whatever
it from two
The
sources.
council wants, you know, of course, I'll go with, but, you know, we have to take out all the internal operations of those meters.
Right.
Just to make sure that they don't get condensation, batteries,
You gotta do that
corrode.
before these are put up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got,
Really?
yeah, they did that last
Some of it,
year. They
yes.
went out
Because
and
if they put
collected
something over the
Correct.
meters, the plastic, and they put money in the
It
machine,
condensates.
it condensates and rusts whatever's inside the
Well,
meters.
I take back my motion, we can talk more, I guess.
Yeah, because some of these meters are a pain to get open. Like today, I emptied them and I was ready to take a bat to them because they won't open. And the locking mechanisms get so screwed up on them, it's not funny.
Right,
You can see, even from the meters on 522, from the salt treatment and stuff from last winter, you can see it on the locks, how the salt comes up on them and just
right.
tears them up. So I'm just looking, because our budget for meters every year is what, 4,000?
Yes.
We order so many, but we ordered 20 last year, that depleted the whole budget.
Right,
Um,
right. Yeah, and they're
And
gonna
they're
be
still-
more expensive now. And
Exactly.
there was supply chain issues and stuff.
I mean,
like
I'm
that, so-
not saying I'm against, you know, them doing it, but we have to be
We gotta be cost effective though.
cost effective and a little bit smart about it. And like Barb was saying, yeah, people Christmas shop pretty much all year long anymore.
Yeah, most people shop online.
I mean, they're nice and all, and people have gotten better with getting them down, but they're supposed to come down without us having to threaten to take their decorations down so we can get everything back operational, so.
I hate to preach to the choir, but once again, I'm gonna say this. Lori used to come here and ask us to do this. She handled the entire thing, policed the operation. If anything was too much or too little. I just wanna make sure that the current person in there is gonna take this on the way she did.
Well, the thing about it is the current person isn't even here. He sends us a letter instead of coming in, which Lori and all past people that have been on the chamber, that have been in charge of the chamber, have come before us and asked for,
That's why I brought
you
that up.
know, you
And maybe
know.
he doesn't realize that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean,
I told him that. I told him that he needs to come to council and, you know, letter's fine. I have no problem with that. But please come to council and, you know, let us know because, you know,
I think they kind of wanted to have the meters done before the parade.
yeah, I think
Christmas
that's what they were
parade,
thinking
too.
about. But, you know, like I said, the chief brings up a very good point. I mean, you know, we take a big hit in repairing those meters and getting them out, taking the whole mechanism out and putting the whole mechanism back in. You know, it's not easy or quick. I mean, it takes almost a whole day to get the meters out, especially if you get a lock that you can't get open, then you got to jerry rig with it, mess with it and everything else. I mean, I think it's nice. I love
I
to
think
see the
it's December
decorations.
3rd. It's usually the first Saturday in December.
Yeah, if they did it the last week in November, you know, push it at least back a week or whatnot, or whatever for the parade. I mean, but that's just options, that's just my
Yeah, well, that's.
point of view.
Well, Black Friday is the 25th of November, and Small Business Saturday is the 26th of November.
So you kind of,
So they're the two biggest shopping,
Times.
Christmas shopping.
Right.
I guess 22.
Are they pretty big shopping days for the businesses in town?
Huge.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could almost close all year, I mean, I wouldn't, but, I mean, they have that much of an effect on.
Okay.
But, I'm trying not to keep dragging on subjects because we're already 10 after 6. What if the town, instead of decorating, that we offer for Black Friday and Small Business Saturday, offer free parking
The 27th.
throughout the town?
Which would be the following.
Yeah.
And they decorate
Yeah.
that weekend or something?
Between the 22nd and the 26th.
I don't decorate it either, so it'll be on the Christmas story.
I think the point of talking TBS, see what they can help us with
I,
financially
it,
would be,
the meter thing isn't,
would be
it's
part of
free
what we
parking
write,
is a lot
would
more
make our
important.
decision of what happens.
nice.
I can do that.
Okay, would you please do
Yeah.
that? Yeah, that would be wonderful. Just
And,
ask
you
them.
know, we could change the dates like to November 27th to
Tell 'em.
December 2nd for the decorating, and then like Tony said, just offer free parking on the Black Friday and Small Business Saturday in the community. Just do free parking without decorating the meters
Do that too, yeah.
on those 2 days.
I can't speak for all businesses, but Mountain Laurel will probably tell you exactly what I'm gonna tell you. And that it's far more important to the downtown business community to have free parking.
That's what
As
we just
opposed
said,
to
Barb.
I'm saying
That's what
free
we,
parking from the middle of November to the end of December.
I don't see that happening. I see it for Black Friday and Small Business Saturday.
And then once they
happening.
decorate, it'll be free.
I'm
Yeah.
free
anyway.
anyway.
once they're decorated, they're free.
Yeah, once they're decorated, it's free parking, right?
Yeah. So.
All right, council, I think we've got a lot to think about, between now and probably next meeting, because we'll have to, so we can
Now, could you
talk.
change the next meeting because of the legislators being here? I thought you
No, we
changed.
already
No,
did,
the
didn't we?
first is the meeting, we changed the
15th.
15th to the 3rd, to the 22nd.
Right.
So the first is still on.
Okay, the
So,
first, okay.
Yes,
the first is still.
The 8th, but is the 8th,
After Christmas.
no, okay, the first, and then we changed the 15th to the 22nd, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
15th.
All right.
This is my idea.
Yeah, let's see if we can, get on with GPS, see if they'll help us, and then come back with this. So let's put that on the agenda for next meeting. And, like I said, there's some things that we really need to consider. Chief's made some valid points, and like I said, those parts aren't cheap, so, and, let's see what we can do and go from there, and so we'll revisit this on the meeting of the 1st. Okay, let's
Tony,
move.
do you know when Danielle's doing the parade, Christmas?
I think it's that
Third.
third.
So usually the
First
first
Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah, it's the third, I think, is how she's having it. So, okay, let's go to, of course, the Bath Development. We haven't heard any. Did she send you anything at all? Okay. Parks and Recs, still looking for people to volunteer on that committee. We haven't really got a report from them since the other lady resigned. Planning Commission.
All right, a couple things from the planning commission, 5 total. All right, first, we had our monthly meeting on 6th October. We're working on developing an additional goal from the previous plan that talks more about governance. And then again, once we get a rough, that'll be briefed up for the council to become familiar with, and we'll brief you what we've got. We continue our weekly working groups on Monday mornings. This week we addressed some public safety issues. One thing we came out when we were after actioning the apple butter was on our own, and it echoes just what you said, Mr. Mayor, a coordination meeting a couple weeks out, because you have so many entities, just like you said, the town is supporting the chamber, but you have a lot of folks who are involved with it. As we're looking at how the town operates, that coordination meeting is something that we came up completely separate and distinct, but echoes
Right.
all the key points you just brought up.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I will address that the highlight for the Apple Butter Festival from our eyes was the Mac Ice House quilt sale, the quilt raffle that they had. It was a big, nice red, white, and blue quilt. And it's currently sitting on my bed. So that was awesome because I won. Okay. And lastly, on 16 August, I handed each of the folks who are at the head of a subcommittee or a committee the Comprehensive Plan 2017 goals, strategies, and objectives. The good news is, since our last meeting, I have gone up 100% in return rate. Previously, I had 1 of 16. Now I have 2 of 16. So thank you for Public Works for doing that. And I've talked to several of the leaders of the committee. So again, if you want to sit down and go line by line, remember Sharon and I did our work to look at it from the town's perspective. And we want to, I absolutely don't want it to be Larry Landon's perspective of that document or where we should go in the future. For the document to be useful and to be effective for the town, I absolutely need your guys' input into that and to be able to help drive improvement. A lot of stuff that Travel Berkeley Springs has talked about is the same kind of thing that we're looking at on a wider front. So please, I ask you to give me a call if you lost it, whatever the case is. I'll get you another copy. We can go through it. But that's kind of an event we need to have happen before we can move forward. Is we have to find out where we are. So I encourage you all to reach out and track me down. Any questions for me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You had asked for water folks to come before the planning commission, and I thought
Right.
that when your next meeting says here the 7th.
Yes,
rather
of
than the
November.
3rd.
Can I get you guys for December? I already had somebody for November.
That might be better.
So the first Thursday in December, according to Rick Weber, the guy closest to the calendar is
December 1st.
December 1st, please.
Yep.
5 o'clock, right here?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, Larry. Rails and trails.
I didn't have anything.
Yeah, he didn't send anything. I didn't see anything. Streetscapes, same thing. Train depot,
All right, I got a little bit to say.
keep it short and sweet.
Oh, well, we were very active, and we've been very active down there. The construction is coming along. Of course, we have a new owner of the construction company. Lance Corporation is the new owner, so we're trying to put together an owners meeting to actually meet them and sit down with them. I'm at the site, very, very often. But I guess in the past couple of weeks, the big thing that happened was the Apple Butter Festival and our car parking. I believe, and Rick can attest to it, that we, by probably 9 o'clock, the lot that he mans on Saturday morning was about full.
Probably by 9:30, it was totally full.
It was full.
It's never been like that. And they had already changed their mind before they did this to have the floats go down and turn around by the Legion, because thank God they did, because there was absolutely no way any of those floats could have gotten in the parking lot.
Right, and
It was that much different than any other year.
It was, and so I called my husband. We have, just this summer, we bought another property down there on that end of town, and it's about an acre lot. And so I called him and I said, we got to park cars there. We have to. We can't turn these people back, And so we parked cars on our lot, and it's all donated to the depot fund. And what we took in over the weekend was $4,926.05. And why it's an uneven number is people just handed us money for donations also. And it worked out. We had a great team right in the middle of everything. We had to split the team up because then we had 2 lots, so it was fast and furious. For a long time, we had the depot open. We had flyers and banners donated to us by Citizens National Bank. The depot was open for people to go into. Greg loaned us his 55-inch TV, so we have the concept loop going. We collected money in the depot. The town crew was great. They helped me. Lance Construction helped. Of course, Citizens National Bank has been a great help and a partner with us now on this project. And it spurred, we made money and with a couple $1,000s more than we usually make at the Apple Butter Festival when we park cars for the depot. But what it did also was it spurred interest. And there are, like I said earlier, there are new businesses on that end of town who are very interested in the construction and completion of the depot and rail trail work and all of that. So it's good. It was a good experience. I also met with the water and sewer chief operators about running water in the lot, and the water and sewer is very available down there. And so I have to get with a private contractor, plumber, about, an estimate of the cost to run water to other bathroom facilities, concession stands, all those, kind of things that we may put in there. But we had quite a wonderful group of people. Steve Keith played bluegrass music on Saturday down there. It was a great draw and a great look too. So we had a good weekend, and we're continuing to work with the depot, and we made that last bill that we did, the Bills group, we just about made it that weekend. So,
Good deal.
but it was really an effort, and we had a good team. Lisa Stein, the president of BDA, was very helpful, and a lot of people, Beth and Rick, and Greg, and had a good team.
Good
So,
deal.
all right, I guess.
All
that's-
right, Susan, can I make a comment on that? And this is kind of going back to what we were talking about. You're talking about Apple Butter Festival, and that I think Oscar was one of your car parkers.
Oh, yes.
So here's a guy who brings his whole band up, rides a horse, sings all night, tears it down,
Yeah.
and he's up the next morning parking cars, doing layman's work to help the town.
He's been doing that for years.
He
Been
has-
doing that for years.
When's the last time we gave him a thank you letter from the town? That's what I'm getting at. Perhaps, and I'm just picking one out of many, right? But maybe, to Oscar from the town of Bath, maybe you guys proclaim something. But, when I looked at everything he was doing this weekend, I was just amazed that that guy's got that much energy. So perhaps with the effort of recognizing our citizens, that may be something the board could consider.
That would be wonderful.
Good deal. We'll take that into consideration.
Yes.
Okay, clerk and recorder's report, Madam Clerk,
No, I don't have anything.
Madam Recorder.
Yesterday, I went out to Kicking State Park. Our governor was there. He was there campaigning for his opinion on how certain amendments should go. Amendment 2 in particular, Baby Dog says no, vote no on Amendment 2. And he was out there stalking the lake with the biggest trout I've ever seen in my life, so, and there's some kind of prize for catching these huge trout. It's a great thing. So I did that yesterday, and of course we have talked about the interims. So Greg, I'm gonna, need some help with putting a table together, and I think that, the depot and that project and rail trail will have a presence for our legislators to see where they've been putting their money, and they are coming down to the depot on one of the days that we're there, and I'll take them through the depot.
Good. All right, thank you. Finance,
Do you have bills?
I do. Everything looks
Do
good
you?
with them?
Yes,
All
yes.
right.
everything's good.
All right, so we'll go ahead and get into paying the bills then. All right, so I'd like to make a motion to pay the town of Bath bills in the amount of $12,244.17.
no motion a second on the floor to pay the town of Bath bills in the amount of $12,244.17. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
I would like to make a motion to pay the Berkeley Springs Waterworks bill in the amount of $58,936.81.
I have a motion, a second on the floor to pay the Berkeley Springs water bills in the amount of $58,936.81. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? That motion passes.
I would like to make a motion to pay the cemetery bill in the amount of $85.
I have a motion and a second on the floor to pay the cemetery bill in the amount of $85 even. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes.
All right. I would like to make a motion to pay the train depot bill in the amount of $6,214.40.
I have a motion and a second on the floor to pay the train depot bills in the amount of $6,214 even. Any
Well, that's the architect bill that I just talked about.
40, I'm sorry. Okay, 40, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's the
Any-
architect.
All right, any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
And I would like to make a motion to pay the hotel motel in the amount of $30,770.50.
I have a motion and a second on the floor to pay the hotel motel, $30,770.50.
This is disbursements to.
First quarter disbursement.
Okay. All right, any more discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, let's move on to the tree board. Anybody have any information?
Excuse me. Tree board is meeting tomorrow. We're working on an ordinance for Trees in USA and also a couple of requests related to trees.
Okay.
That's all I have.
All right, anything for Grant, anybody?
No, so I have another Region 9 meeting on November 7th. Right now, we're still, trying to see what we can do with the cemetery. We've crossed a lot off the list. We still have some, different routes that we're looking at. Also, Sharon gave me some info in regards to speed limit signs for the town. I sent that information over to Rachel, and she's looking into seeing what we can do to maybe try and get some of those speed limit signs, or at least jump on that deal that was on that flyer possibly and get a couple of them for the town. So I'll let you know after I hear back from Rachel. That's all I have for Grant.
Tell Rachel she needs to get with me on the depot too, because I contacted her and haven't heard anything back, so.
Okay.
Okay.
If you want to forward me the email that you forwarded
Okay.
her,
Well, okay.
if you got it.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, public safety?
Yeah, we had a meeting this evening and, the plan is we're gonna put an advertisement in the papers to hire a new police chief, and the chief link is going to be coming on working for us part-time. Chief, do you have anything?
If anybody's wondering the reason why, I was spread thin between two departments, so everybody's getting a little bit of something, nobody's getting a full 100%. So
It's hard.
my biggest thing was trying to get through apple butter, we got through that. So now we'll start to see if we can't find somebody, because it's also not fair to the new officer, Patrolman Queen, because he's getting 2 days of full training here, but the other days he's with me at the sheriff's department, so he's getting exposed to stuff, but he's not getting the training he deserves, so.
Right. Okay. All right, well, like I said,
Okay.
we hate to see things change like that, but, he's got to do, what's right for everybody, and I think he's right on the right track as far as, we have a new, officer that we hired, and it's not fair to him either not to have somebody full-time with him,
Well,
so.
I think too, I see you in town a lot when you're with the sheriff's department, so I
Yeah.
think you do pay special attention.
If I have him, well, if I'm working, I'll take calls in town, but especially more if he's working, like tomorrow, Thursday and Saturday, I think he's with me at the sheriff's department. If there's calls in town, I'll make sure that we take them, and that way he can get exposed and
Yeah,
start
that's good.
getting,
That's very good.
take care of the call in town if he can.
All right. All right, thank you all. Cemetery?
The project that we're hoping to get accomplished in the next couple of weeks is the restoration of General Barstow's headstone. It's been an ongoing project, but it does look like it's finally gonna get done. I talked to Rick about some help that we'll need. with, use of backhoe, but otherwise it does finally look like it's moving forward. And, grass cutting is done for the season, and, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Beth. Public Works,
Even though we are still a man down and waiting to fill that position, Rodney and his two people did a hell of a job setting up and tearing that all down. People have already said as far as apple butter. All the equipment is ready for our first visit from winter, but we don't mention that word. Other than that, we're good.
okay, good deal, good deal. Ordinance,
The ordinance committee met yesterday, and really just right now, we're looking at the personnel manual and looking at what, if any, updates are needed to that. And so we've had some homework assignments, and we'll be coming back to our meeting in November to work on that some more. And I guess that next meeting would be what is it, November 1st at 4:30.
thank you guys for doing that. Waterworks,
Chris,
Water,
before you start, I just
Yeah,
want
go
to
ahead.
thank the water department for helping us out while we're a man down. If we need an extra person for garbage, they've been willing to do that. So
Oh,
just pass that on.
Amen. All right. Yeah, so I guess two things to talk about. One, we, at the last meeting on October 11th, we received progress report number 2 from Thrasher and Pro Contracting for the Phase 4 water line replacement project. At this point, they're about 28% done through the project. They have been working up in the Johnson's Mill Road area. I think this week they've been in the Tower Circle area. So it's moving along. It continues to be on schedule at this point. And I don't know that we've had any kind of new additional issues or concerns come up that I've heard of. So I think things are moving along smoothly with that. So that's good news. Then the other thing is the extension south. We received, of course, the funding, the announcement for the funding for that. And I think part of what yesterday at Capon was to the governor presented the check to our county commissioners. So that is going to be moving forward, and more to come on that. So.
I thank Susan for stepping in. I was at the hospital all day yesterday and was not able to be there. Short notice, they didn't announce it until about 9 o'clock in the morning that he was even gonna be here. And I was already at the hospital, so anyway, I appreciate somebody being able to go up there and accept that.
And I want to thank the Morgan County Commission, I'm sorry, and Sean for all the hard work he put in to make this happen.
And the other thing is that Sean also, we owe appreciation that as part of the extension, we had originally asked a key thing for us is a secondary water source for our system. And they are continuing to work on that, even though that is not part of the extension funding, so that we can identify a secondary source and develop the facilities around that source to ensure that we have backup water here. So that's going forward. We're thankful for that. So.
They understand we're serious about that.
Yeah. I think we've said it enough.
Yeah, I just said that was one of my main pet peeves, not to raise any rates on any water customers if we were gonna do this extension and a secondary water source. I mean, right now, if something happens to the source in the park, we're done. So this has been on my mind ever since I've been here, but more here in the last 8 years, because you never know what's going to happen. That we may wake up one morning, hopefully not, but it's something could happen. So I want to have a plan in place and be ready so we can switch over to provide all our customers with water, no matter what. So that's what we're working on. That was the two things that I asked for. The county commissioners and everybody came together, town council came together, the water department came together, and they put this out. We were rather quickly rushed into getting the information, so we could get this money. And we were able to get everything in, and they granted us the money for the water line extension out South 522. So I want to thank everybody. We don't have to raise the rates. I said absolutely we would not do the project if we had to raise rates on everybody. It just wasn't going to happen.
Chris, the project that they're working on now, is that gonna continue into the winter, or at some point do they have to stop?
Yes.
No,
Okay,
they will
they-
continue through the winter. They,
Okay.
yeah.
That's what they
They
told
don't
us at the
expect,
meeting.
They don't
Okay.
expect to be
to stop at
down.
any
There
point.
might be a few days, if they snow days or something, but.
they have
Right.
inclement weather days they can claim, but they don't, it's not expected at this point. They'll continue to work as long as much as they can
Okay.
through till February 27th, then February.
Is there a number of people that are going to be added to the water source?
There is a big chance. There's been a survey put out. There's a lot of people that said that they would be interested. Now, the problem is, it's not like sewer. If you have sewer go past your property, you have to hook up, okay? Water is not. But we have one big user on 522, that would like to have water for his, number one, for his place, and all sorts of other things. Plus, this extension's going all the way out to the trailer court, right?
Tabor Road.
Tabor Road. So, we've got another customer that's probably wants to change over everything he's got for the trailer court and have those properties in there. So we should pick up some customers there. So, but like I said, it's not a given until we actually get the water line and people come and say they want our water. So unfortunately, and that's why my big pet peeve was there's no thing to tell me that, hey, no commitment letter that anybody will sign saying you bring the water and we'll buy it. We'll get on your line. So that's why I said no increase, period. Do not want to raise rates on anybody. If you guys can figure a way around it, then we'll sign on to the project. And sure enough, they started hunting and calling people and talking to people. Next thing I know, we need this information, they need this information, they need that. And then all of a sudden, 2.5 weeks ago, we had this big announcement that we got all this money for it. So, so it's, but it's not a guarantee how many customers. And I can't remember on that survey that they did, how many they said. I think they said, if I'm not mistaken, it was around 90 to 100 new customers.
I thought I remembered, and I may be wrong, that when the government gave out COVID money and the town got X number of dollars and the county got like $3.2 million. And I thought that money was to be designated to do the water extension.
No, that was
for whatever.
that
That
was
was for what?
that was
Whatever.
for paying our employees some of the stuff where we had to have them off and stuff like that. Now I don't know what the county
The county, they can use it for whatever. They haven't
Yeah.
used any of it.
they haven't
They
used
haven't used any of it at all.
because they've not been given
But-
any specifics on how to spend it.
So they're
They've been sitting
not
on it.
sure what to do. So they put it into an interest-bearing account and
Now, I mean, water line and improvements and infrastructure are part of what's eligible under the American Rescue Plan Act funds that were distributed, but.
That's probably what it came from the state.
Well, they went through the federal economic development, too, so that's a separate source.
Yeah, but like I said, basically that money came to us to pay for different things that we needed that we had with Corona. Yeah, yeah, our losses, the cleanings, just all sorts of
So
stuff.
the answer is no,
Yeah.
it wasn't for the
So,
water lines.
Question, that will service the new DMV Dunkin'
DMV,
Donuts or whatever.
they already got water out that way. DMV, there's water all the way out to,
Tractor
this
Supply.
Tractor
There'll be,
Supply.
there'll be new,
Tractor Supply is,
there'll be new service
Okay.
lines.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah, but there's water all the way out. Actually, the dead end goes to, Ridersville Cycle.
Yeah.
That's the last person that gets water out there. Everybody else has got water going out that way to right.
And is there a development in the foreseeable future for around
We
the
haven't put in
DMV?
anything to the planning commission yet, but we understand, we're hearing that there is.
Well, Perry's pretty good on land prep, I know that, so they're doing a bang up job.
Doing a lot, aren't they?
Tear that
Yeah.
So,
It's a
like I
lot being
said,
done for just a DMV, right?
yeah, so it's, it's anybody's guess how many customers will end up, but the thing about it is, my main thing was, there's no rate increase. The customers that are on the system does not have to pay, another penny. I said, we're not paying to put an extension out there for other people to get on water, and the customers that are here now have to bear the burden of paying for it. We're not doing it. And that's, we were able to get this. So, things do happen, thank goodness. I mean, I don't have a problem extending it out there. The other thing is, we're looking into a secondary water source. I mean, there's several places out there. I've talked to Jack sometimes about out there past the ball field. There's some places out there that's got good water supply. Hopefully, maybe down the line, we'll be able to do something and get a secondary water source. So.
And the next water committee meeting is the 11th, Monday, the 11th at 4:30. Or Monday, November 7th. I'm sorry, the 11th. Monday, 7th. 11/7.
So, all right. Point comes, anything else that needs to come before council? If there's not, I'll ask for a,